All right, my man. I dropped off in Sioux Falls last night and saw your Facebook post. Figured I probably knew where this place was at because I tend to know most people in my area. And turns out I was right. Came out, found this, looked around. Wanted to shoot a quick video just to show you maybe some options to consider next go around. First and foremost, the low-hanging fruit here is option number one. What to do, you get to this kind of a spot. There's a Casey's truck stop right there. I mean, man, if I was like, I don't know, John Elway or somebody, I could throw the football and hit the truck right up there. You back your truck up there, pull in there, call the boss, call Champion, call the client, call whoever. And at that point, you sit there and you wait. You wait until you get confirmation in writing on what to do if you don't feel you can make this turn. That's option number one. Option number two, I think you can make this turn. You always want to know the length of your total vehicle. You also want to know where your pivot points are. I always measure from the hitch to where the pivot point is on the axle set. Usually it's right in the center line of where between the front and the last axle. I counted, it's 18 paces from there. I also counted where I think your truck was based off the pictures, and I came out to about here based off the picture. For me, that was 11 paces, which would put your truck 28 feet, 20, somewhere in that neighborhood, 30 feet, something like that. Anyway, you guys are your big units. See, I got a little bit of unit, and people always make fun of my little unit. But I'll tell you what, my little unit gets her big ass where she wants to go. And then, you know, you and your big unit couldn't get that thing in there. So I don't know about you guys. Anyway, I'm telling you, man, you come up here, hug this, suck your mirror in so that way you miss that, or you drop that sign if you have to. Come tight up here, swing hard. You and your big unit probably can't make that corner. Back up, pull forward, back up. You can get that truck damn near perpendicular to that house, and you can rotate it on its axles. You spin it. Yeah, of course it's hard on the tires. But the tires are expendable. You come in here, have a Sawzall on your truck, and then the Sawzall, you take and trim that up. Obviously somebody's whittled on that thing a number of times, so you know that's not, you know, that wasn't put here by, you know, some great Sioux war leader. Then you move, then you go straight up here. That car wasn't here, and then you can get your truck up there quite a ways, about where the you get the nose of the truck up there. Start turning, and then you kind of start working it back and forth till you get the hitch of your truck almost right about here. Get your truck right up there, suck your mirror in, sneak by there, miss that by the hair on your chinny chin chin. As soon as the passenger corner of the house sneaks by that right there, you cut it back hard and you shimmy right up there, pull it forward, and then back. Now here's the thing, I think you make that corner. Why? Because if your hitch is right about here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's your truck, the hitch of the truck. I'm at the pivot point on the axle set. You miss all of that by the hair on your chinny chin chin. You may know, you may not know. These signs are removable. You come over here, you pull that, whack that with a hammer, this thing pops out. Then you pull up. Sometimes these things have been sitting here, especially in the wintertime. Frost pushes everything in. I've had times where I've had to stick a piece of rebar in here, get the bottle jack, kind of push, kind of get it when everything's frozen. You whack it with a hammer a few times, get the bottle jack, and at some point you bust this loose. Sign pops right out, you drop the sign. That is a fuck ton cheaper than running over it. All right, so I think you make this. Oh, and I was going to show you. You go all the way down there, and then there's a spot down there. You just kind of pull off to the side and park it, and it ain't your problem. Next one is if you don't like that idea, you come up over here. So that was, what was that, option number two? Because option number one was go up to Casey's, call Champion, call the client, call the boss, say, hey, look, I don't think I can make this. I think you could. I know I could have. But remember, I got a little unit. A lot of guys don't like having little units. So me, man, I brag on my little unit. Next option, it's number 3. You come down here, come right there, hug that corner, come right up here, swing in, go right up there, kind of straighten out. You rotate the house. The house is kind of rotated about here-ish, something like that. At that point, you back in. Once you get your axle set right about here, you got room. You may have to drop that sign. You got room to start swinging the truck over, start straightening out, and you back straight in. You got 1, 2, go past 2 power poles. There's an open spot kind of straight down there on the other side. 3 separate options. Now, I will say, I think you got amazingly lucky, my man. I looked, I was afraid. All these houses have utility drops coming out down there on the waistline. I was afraid you'd busted that. I was afraid you'd busted, the gas line, which, God forbid, is connected to the furnace or connected to the water tank. All of a sudden, you started screwing that stuff up. I couldn't find any damage. I was also concerned you damaged the outriggers. You didn't. There's no damage that I could find to the house. The only damage that I found right here was the curb. Looks like you did the good old CMV flying suplex elbow smash on the curb, where you came up off the curb, when you dropped down off the curb, and you just smashed it with the housing for the hitch. The way to prevent that, next time you're in the yard, grab a bunch of that cribbing. You see that crap laying around there in Topeka. You grab a bunch of that, put it right here on the curb, make yourself a little ramp, build it out a little bit, so that way you come straight out and then you come off of there, and at least until your hitch clears the curb. Remember, when you're pulling a house, you are the captain of the ship, my man. Anything that happens, anything goes wrong, anything you break, anything you damage, anything you hit, whether it's a bridge because the whole car was wrong, whether it's, I don't know, is your responsibility. 100% it's on you. Here's my road truck. Here's the back of my road truck. So, right here, I carry, about 18 pieces of CDX, 3/4 inch plywood, cut in 2 foot by 4 foot strips. That way they stack on there. That way they stack on there nicely, and then I can use that. These will support the weight of the truck. They'll support the weight of the house, and they disperse the weight so that way you don't leave divots, ruts, and things like that in the ground. Right here, these pallets, 2 foot by 3 foot. What they're designed to do is disperse weight so that way I can get a house up in the air when it's on incredibly soft soil. I don't know if you've ever had a flat on the side of a road, and of course is on the passenger side, and the shoulder is amazingly soft because of course it just rained, and you sit there and you watch your jack just disappear into the mud, and your house just sitting there laughing at you, mocking you like you're just, I don't know, some stupid infidel. So pop those things down, the dispersed weight, you'll finally get enough compression, bam, up in the air she goes. That's your safety cribbing right there. You got some batten strips right there. I just used a bunch of them, and I got some cribbing stuck in the tires right there. I've got more shit, and I've got a whole toolbox full of parts. I've got over here on the passenger side, I've got all sorts of axle parts. So I've got leaf springs, I've got U-bolts, I got more shit than you can shake a stick at in there. Inside the middle slot, the middle bay, I've got tubes to make slip axles. I've got all my air hoses. I've got my chains, my binders for when I bring carriers back to the factory. And I got big crescent wrenches, big pipe wrenches. I got more shit in there than you shake a stick at. Inside here, all my jacks, and I don't know, I got a first aid kit somewhere in there. I've got trash bags. I got a couple of boxes with bolts, every size of tongue bolt, every size of axle bolt, every size of lug you can imagine. I've got a lot of that stuff. And then right down there is where I carry all of my dunnage, cribbing, stuff like that. And you see right in there, I just have little things like that. And then spare tires, obviously. And then I've got, we have to go old school. I've got good old-fashioned tire iron in case I ever get at the spot where I got absolutely no batteries and I'm hand jacking and hand doing every freaking thing. I got the tool on the truck. Yeah, I'll be pissed, but I'll still get the job done. Anyway, hey, I hope you learned. I think you're going to get out of this okay, but there's just a lot of little things there that I think could have been done a little bit differently. If you're ever in Iowa and you need help, call me. I know most of the people here in Iowa. I know most of the people around Iowa. What's sad is if you needed help, I probably know the guy installing this. There's only a couple of them in this area. I probably know the guy who's doing this, and I probably could have called in a favor to get him or somebody up. Maybe not that night when you were doing it, but maybe the following day. I could have got you a translift or platypus to swing your ass around there if you wanted to get in there. Because I know a couple of guys in Sioux Falls. I know a guy here in Sioux City. I know there's another guy just south here in south of South Sioux City. I know a guy down in Council Bluffs. So, I mean, it's just one of those things, right? Call me. Hit me up. I'll help you. If not, if I can't get to it, I know people that can. I also know where you could have parked this thing. It could have been secured until it all got figured out. So anyway, make it a great one.